Hello, and welcome to TV3 News Journal, where local Connersville news comes first. I'm Carla Beard. The 4th of July will be here soon, and the Connersville Jaycees will once again sponsor their annual fireworks show in Roberts Park. Jaycees President Brian Durham talked with us about it.
The Jaycees annual fireworks celebration will be on July 4th this year. As tradition for the fireworks, since 1937, they've tried to have it on July 4th. Only twice have we canceled, 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic and 2013 because of weather. So we're excited for the July 4th. That afternoon, fireworks start around 10 p.m. We say at dark. The last couple of years it's been right at about 10, maybe 10:05 is when the fireworks will start. They will be at Roberts Park in the amphitheater area. People who wish to park in the infield will probably open the infield about 5 o'clock for parking. And then up around the amphitheater, we usually close that off around 6 to 7 o'clock. You'll be able to drive down the hill to go park in the infield, or you'll be able to turn around near the amphitheater on the north side. So through the donations of local businesses, particularly FCN Bank, Hedro, and Reed Health, they really stepped up to help this year with donations, as they do every year. The number one thing we ask, if you're going to be in the infield, do not bring fireworks. It's something that we run into every year. If you're shooting fireworks in the infield, you will be asked to leave.
The fireworks are free to the public, and donations toward next year's event are welcome. Manlove Park is nestled just south of Bentonville in northern Fayette County. This not-for-profit organization is available for weekend camping and events like wedding receptions and family reunions. Wilma Sullivan and Tina Brown told us about the park and their plans.
Manlove Park is 180 acres, and it was the lake was hand dug in 1932, and since then it has just been ran as a conservation club. We also have campsites available, so we do have seasonal camping here. From April through October 31st, we're open for the campers to come in, and they get to camp. We're open. The gates are open for everyone to be here until 9 p.m., and they can enjoy hiking, fishing, and they do different activities. We have a lodge that exists up front, and that lodge is rentable. And we have many family reunions that have been held out here for 20, 25 years.
It's for families. Everyone that comes out here to camp gets a seasonal site, ends up being family.
Today we have the Cub Scouts, and they have been here all week doing their day camp.
Scout skills is every single day we have a new skill to teach the new scouts or the upcoming scouts, the Cub Scouts, and some days it's first aid, some days it's rope tying. It's all different things that we try to learn here at Scouts.
And they have different activities set up all throughout the property. They have been doing some fishing, some archery, different things that help them to earn their badges.
We have hiking trails in the back. You can actually hike all the way around the lake. Starting up at the playground, there are bridges you go over which have just been repaired. They're in great shape. You can walk all the way around the lake. I think it's a 1.25 mile hike, and come back out over here, back up through into the parking lot. It's a nice walk, and it's a lovely place to be. You come in from a week at home with all the stresses and the work. You come through the gate, and it's just like, you leave that all at home. It's just a special place for everybody.
The Communities That Care Youth Coalition is hosting a family event June 24th at the Haven. Eric Adams told us more.
Well, CTC is a substance misuse prevention agency. We have the prescription drug drop boxes around town at various locations. We do some messaging. Right now, a big campaign for us is to discourage the sharing of prescriptions, particularly those that are controlled substances. So it's a multi-directional approach, and then there's a youth component to it as well. So this is going to be our June Youth Coalition event. We've met previously with a group of kids, and I've been meeting weekly with some kids for guitar and art lessons. So this monthly meeting, since it's kind of the middle of summer, we wanted to brand it a little differently. We're going to have a cookout, some snacks and beverages, of course, maybe some outdoor games. It's going to be June 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. here at the Haven in the downstairs level. That's 901 Meyer Avenue. Parents are more than welcome to attend. Parents are encouraged to attend if they're able. I've known that music is a great helper to confidence, a great helper to feeling a sense of self-worth. So it's really kind of nice to have that backed up now by research through the CDC, and that means that we can use grant dollars for it, and basically, it means that we can do common sense things with the backing of grant dollars, with the backing of research, and we're just really excited because I know there's a lot of creative kids around here.
The Fayette Union Soil and Water Conservation Organization is organizing a river cleanup that will launch from the Whitewater Campground. David Caldwell told us about plans for the event.
We are having, I'm with Fayette County Soil and Water Conservation District. I'm the chairman of the board this year. And this is the 12th year we're having a river cleanup, a Whitewater River cleanup. But it's the 12th year we've done it. We're doing it because we want to help call attention to the fact that we need to keep our water clean. And it's a good thing to do. The Whitewater River is the fastest flowing river in Indiana. It's the most fun to kayak or canoe or float on because of that. And we'd like to make it look good. So that's why we do what we do. This event will be held July 23rd, that's a Saturday. We'll get here about 8 o'clock to set up, and people, we hope, will start arriving then, and we'll shoot for launching at about 9 a.m. We figure about 3 hours, and then when people get back here, we'll have some sausages and maybe hamburgers and chips and cookies and soft drinks for people.
Local photographer and author Teresa Lowe has published The Best of Historic Beauty Photography. She talked to us about her book, which is registered with the Library of Congress.
Now, I started out with a throwaway camera, a 110 camera, then I upgraded to a digital, and then to a better digital camera. And then my eye for photography got better and better and better as I learned how to take pictures. The local people tell me where to go, and the structures and inventory books that the counties put out have these directions on where to find stuff. And most of the time I'm just kind of hunt on my own, just drive down the back roads and things like that. Connersville really supported me in my book at getting it started with different donations and things like that. So I decided to have the picture of the town in there. The architecture was very interesting. This yellow picture, it's at Mary Gray Bird Sanctuary. And I like it because it kind of curves into the woods. It takes you to like a different place. It just, you don't know where you're going to end up at. It's just beautiful. I dedicated the book to my parents, Art and Carol Hughes, because they were really proud of me when I would bring my pictures in to them at the nursing home. But my dad got to see the book done. He was very proud of me. My mom passed away before she could see the book get done, but they were always so proud of me.
If you would like a copy of the book, you can reach her on Facebook. Whitewater River Campground offers tube and kayak rentals to the public. Rental operator Mike Bache is also concerned about your safety while on the river.
River is both a little too high and the flow is a little bit too fast. even though we mainly go by the flow of the river, which is the speed, we tend to more safety on the more inexperienced tubers, kayakers. It's harder to control the craft when you're coming through to different obstacles. The last few storms, we're not sure what has gotten washed into the water and what's floating down the water. You know, we can't control Mother Nature. We can't control what the river does. You know, we rather just people be a little angry with us because they have the day off and they want to go tubing, and you know, I feel more safe telling them, no, I'm not going to send you. You know, let them come back another day. Well, we have a Facebook page, which is the Whitewater River Adventures on Facebook. You can like us there, and they can also call, it'll be my cell phone at 765-377-0066. Monday through Thursday is from 9 to 5. So everybody has to be here by 3 p.m. at the latest to get on the last bus going out, and 2:30 to pre-register in so that they can get on that 3 o'clock bus. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is 9 to 7. They have to be here by 3 p.m. to get on the last bus, 2:30 to pre-register for that last bus.
The Connersville Lions Club will hold their annual golf outing on Saturday, June 25th at Willowbrook Country Club, and their cruise-in car show June 26th at Roberts Park. Bob Powers, president, told us more.
We are coming up this coming weekend. We are having the annual golf tournament, and then that starts at noon out at Willowbrook Golf Course, and we're having 4-person scramble teams, and we've been doing this now for about 4 years, and we didn't do it last year because of the COVID, but it seems each year we get more and more teams, and we have like 16, 17 teams, I believe, this year. So, but we do that at noon, and then at 5 o'clock Saturday evening, we are doing our annual helicopter golf ball drop. What we have done is, a few years ago, we started selling 600 numbered tickets, and then we have 600 numbered golf balls that we drop out of a helicopter over the green. And the first place, second, and third place in the hole or near the hole is $5,000 for first place, second is $1,000, and third place is $500. So it's a lot of fun, and the kids like it to see the helicopter and all that, but we have tried to build that up a little bit. Like I said, last year with the COVID, that kind of put a dampener on things for everybody. But this year seems real good. We've done great with the ticket sales, and that is this Saturday, June the 25th. The car show is this coming Sunday, June the 26th. Registration is from 11 till 1, and the show starts at 1 o'clock. And we are expecting several cars, well over 75 to 100 cars, I hope. And so it's supposed to be a great weekend, wonderful weather. And we have a food truck that's going to be there to provide food and drinks for everyone. We have a few things we're going to try to do for the kids, and we're going to be giving things away, raffles and door prizes and things like that. So it ought to be a real good time for the community, and we hope everyone can come out. It is at Roberts Park, and it actually is going to be around the old covered bridge in front. So you'll be able to see it from the road. For registration for the cars, $10 to register your cars. But for people to just come and visit and look around, there's no fees at all. Just come and enjoy yourself.
If you would like to be a part of TV3 News Journal as a local volunteer reporter, please contact the TV3 studio at 825-3245 or email at info@localtv3.com. We would love to have you on board. Now, here's Brad Coulter with Looking Back. Good night.
Hi, I'm Brad Coulter, and this is Looking Back. The name of this week's story is Dr. A.D. Tyrell, the Maplewood Fair, and the Bread Box. This story for me begins with the bread box, not the kind that sits on your counter, but this one is more like a trunk. In 1994, I bought a home at 206 West 19th Street from Mrs. Gulliford Fern Lips. One of the interesting items she left for me was a dusty old sewing box. When I was a kid, every grandma had an old sewing box full of yarn and covered with material. Sometime later, I decided to take the material off and see what was underneath. As I peeled off each layer, it seemed that a generation was stripped away, and the last of 4 layers was a carpet bag material that was used in the early 1900s. Much to my surprise, what I found next was a very old trunk emblazed with the words Krug's Bread. A little research of Krug's didn't turn up much, so the box turned into a conversation piece for me, but not much was known about it. What I did know was that Mrs. Lips had said the home I bought and the building next door were built by the same person, and it had been a store. She also told me the home had been in her family 99 years, and she was very particular about who would be buying it. Fast forward to now, and as I started to write the looking back column, the bread box came to mind again, and I set out to find out who it belonged to. Dr. A.D. Alexander DeWitt Tyrell was born on July 22, 1835 in southern New York State. He was a close relative of DeWitt Clinton, mayor of New York City, and was related to the famous Clintons and the DeWitts, who were very prestigious in the founding in the early days of our country. The families were very wealthy, but after being educated in medicine and pharmacy, he set out to make his own way and moved to Connersville. He arrived here in 1864 and was soon considered among the ablest physicians and served several terms as coroner and county physician. He served in the position of the poor several times. It seems the county paid the doctor to care for people without the means to pay for their own care. It is said that he was very successful in the treatment of typhoid and many ailments of the time. He even served as sheriff for a time to fill a vacancy. In 1882, he was married to Luella Backhouse at her parents' home, still standing at 2687 South State Road 1. Later that year, they purchased 33 acres from Anthony Schneider and built a cottage at 206 West 19th Street. He added on to the house and eventually added a second story as it is today. In 1895, he added a building to house his office, a pharmacy, and store at 216 West 19th Street. The new store was called Maplewood Fair, and he had a hall there called Tyrell Hall. Many political speeches were given there, including Connersville Mayor Finley Gray giving a speech called The Filthy Canal. This was in 1910 when Finley was trying to get the people to support the city investing in new water wells and abandoning the canal as a water source. No doubt this interested the doctor greatly, as there were many ill from effects of drinking the unsanitary water. He continued business there until 1919, when the store changed hands and became the sanitary meat market. By this time, A.D. and Lou's daughter, Elsie, had married Roy Lips, and their son, Gulliford, had arrived in 1908. Roy was a baker in his father's business downtown and drove the baker's wagon. As an interesting side note, Roy played the cornet. At some point, he tired of honking the tin horn to announce his deliveries and decided to play a solo for the housewife at each stop. This caused a huge increase in business for the Lips Bakery. As a bonus, the women would come out to the wagon and almost always make a purchase. This was so popular, other local businessmen tried adding vaudeville to their deliveries. Dr. A.D. Tyrell lived until July 13, 1925, and Luella until 1930. And the home was passed to Elsie Lips, their daughter. Elsie shared the house with Gulliford and Fern after their marriage on Christmas Day 1931. When Elsie passed in 1961, she left the home to Gulliford and Fern, who lived there with their daughter Judy until selling it to me in 1994. As I said, this story started with the bread box. It must be presumed that the box sat on the sidewalk in front of the store to accept the overnight bakery deliveries from Krug's. The box likely was covered by material after the Tyrell store closed in the mid-1910s. This is my fascination with small town living. A neighborhood boy familiar with all the characters and landmarks in the story later buys the home and inherits the bread box that inspires the story of one of Connersville's early pioneer doctors to be remembered. What a glorious place we call home.